I did not decide to separate. I'd like to say that.
Yeah.
Because it's a fact.
Yeah.
So he moved on, and it was a difficult thing for me to stomach. But I also understood that he had his reasons. We did have a rough journey, and there were times when it was very difficult for me. Most probably to be there so much for my children because I had to work. I was the earning member. I was like happily working. And we had Shahid and we were happy. So everything was great. But then he asked me, he said, "Mom, I want a brother." She's the most undramatic person I've seen. And because we are a family of artists, we are all dramatic.
So, when I thought of doing this segment for Mother's Day, one person's name that actually popped up was Nilima Azim. Not because she has two superstar sons, but also because she's the biggest trend behind their stardom. Welcoming Nilima ma'am in conversation with Pink Villa for Dear Mom. I will start off with the first question, that you have been their biggest strength through years for both Shahid and Ishan. Where do you derive your strength? Because being a single parent can be strenuous, especially at the time when you became a single parent first. It was a difficult time. How did you derive your strength?
I think it's in my genes. My father was a amazingly, wonderfully resilient and strong man, and my mother's been a very, very brave woman. So I guess it's just come from there, and then the kind of life that I've had, the journey that I've taken, it's just made me strong and resilient. And very frankly speaking, I don't see it as a very sad thing. Because at the end of the day, now the world knows my sons, but I have known them from the time they were in my lap. They were born to me, and it's been a wonderful journey with them. So of course, I'm not saying that it's all been very, there've been rainbows and bows and songs and serenades. I'm not saying that. Of course, it's been difficult in its own way, but it's been good also. Yeah. So it's not such a big problem.
Yeah,
I'm okay. I'm good.
Of course, and you're fantastic. Fit and fabulous. I want to ask you that you made a conscious choice of getting married very early, and you had Sasha very, very early. You were a young mother. When you became a mother for the first time, when first times can be really difficult, and also you learn a lot on that, right? You must be easier with Ishan than you were with Sasha. What was going through your mind? Were you like a hyper mom? Would you be like very, very concerned about his health? With Shahid especially.
Well, the first time when, Shahid was conceived and then, he was born. He's my firstborn, my elder one. I was very young. And I was a girl actually. And at that point of time, it was just so much of happiness having him. I always wanted, children, and I was very excited about having him. And then he was so lovely and sweet. He was such a good child. He was such a happy baby. And it was just wonderful because I just had my own child, after that with me, as a part of me, as my companion. And he was a reflection of so many things that I guess, that comes down with generations. And he was such a beautiful boy and such a good kid. So the first time I think I was very resilient and young and strong. And I was extremely happily involved with my dancing. So there wasn't that big trauma or tragedy as such. Yes, of course, it was a big change in life. And but because I had Shahid with me and my parents were extremely supportive, it wasn't such a big issue.
Yeah.
It was a good home for him then.
But Nilima ma'am, you had told me that Shahid was 3.5 when you decided to separate from Pankaj sir. Was it difficult for him to at any given point?
I did not decide to separate. I'd like to say that.
Yeah.
Because it's a fact.
Yeah.
So he moved on. And it was a difficult thing for me to stomach, but I also understood that he had his reasons. And we'd been friends from a long, long time. I think I was 15 years old when I became friends with Pankaj.
Yeah.
So he had very good reasons, and I understood it. And when there is a breakup, which is called divorce. It is painful for both. There was a lot of friendship and attachment, but there was heartbreak.
Yeah.
So it's all right. He had moved on, and he's. I wish him all the best. He's happy. I can see he's very well settled in his new family and all. So yeah. So then after that, I had my own journey. My journey was about picking myself up and getting back to life and living. I had my family, I had my parents' support. I had all my cousins and my aunts and everybody around me. I had my guru, Pandit Biju Maharaj. I had my whole dance circle with me. But most of all, I had Shahid. So he gave me an unsurmountable belief in life and enthusiasm to live again. And I was young, so I was able to do it. I was very young. It took time. It took me about a couple of years.
You have been, like I introduced you, you've been their biggest story of strength. There are families that can crumble under such pressures. There are people who can crumble under such pressures, but you actually picked yourself up and you lived for your son to make sure that he has the best life. And I know this for a fact because Shahid in many of his interviews has spoken about how you have made life easier for him as a child, his childhood.
It's very kind of him and it's very sweet of him. It's very loving of him and compassionate on his part to say that, because we did have a rough journey and there were times when it was very difficult for me, most probably to be there so much for my children because I had to work. I was the earning member, the sole earning member that, I had to run a home and take care of my children for their upbringing, and all that it curtails. A child, his studies and everything else that he needs. So I had to work a lot and I didn't want to work so much. I've never been somebody who's wanted to be always out of the, out in the world without spending enough time at home. Today I have the luxury to do that. But at that point of time, I didn't think too much. I used to never sit down and have to give myself a talk about doing things. I had an automatic gear inside me that would just shift into whatever, the pace of life needed me to be in. I was all right. I was good. I mean, I could have been much worse. I might have had to do things I didn't enjoy. I might have had to take up a job that took the joy out of me. And maybe my children would have gotten twisted or dark or troubled children or mentally, traumatized. So I think we've been blessed.
Absolutely. And when you had Ishan, I want to know what was Shahid's, because Shahid dotes on Ishan. Like I know this for a fact that they're the coolest pair of brothers in town.
So I have an interesting thing to tell you, that I was, busy working and I was like happily working. And we had Shahid and we were happy. So everything was great. But then he asked me he said, "Mom, I want a brother." So I was stumped and I was like older. So I was like, now at this time when I'm working and, it was a big step to take because the home was running in a certain way and, everything was depending on the work we do, the earnings we have. And I was older. So Shahid was 14. So I was kind of mentally out of having a small baby again.
True.
Because I'd gone through, single-handedly bringing up one child. Yeah. So it was a lot that would have to go back again and start the whole cycle again. But when Shahid said that he wants a brother, it made me sit and reflect upon the fact that I was not a single child. I have my brother.
Yeah.
And we were away from home, so he didn't have his cousins and his other, relatives to fill in for that. So in Delhi, we had a huge family around. And so I took a decision that whatever it may be, once the parents are no more or they're too old, let's put it like that, the company that you have and the companion that you can have in your brother and sister, the only one more person who's like you, your wife, your husband, they are a huge part of your life because they're your life partners. But somebody who's got your DNA, who is like you, who can most probably understand you and for who you are and what you do, So I thought, no, he's asked me for a brother. So I thought to myself that I can't promise him a brother. So
Yeah,
I
of
prayed
course.
for it. I prayed for it, though I wanted a daughter. I really wanted a daughter because I thought it was perfect, have one boy, one girl. But because he said I want a brother, so then I was like open to that. So when Ishan was born, the first thing she said, congratulations to your elder son, Shahid. He has got his younger brother.
How
She
sweet.
didn't say congratulations to both of you, you've got your son.
True. True. And it's so
So that
lovely
was
because
really nice. And
know,
I remember when Shahid came to know, he came to Yari Road. We were living on Yari Road. और पहले सामने वाली सड़क पे जहाँ पे he used to play cricket and all with his friends. वहाँ पे he actually did a full wild dance, you know. He was so happy that he had a brother, yes. So, you know, after that, I have photographs and photographs of Ishan sitting in Shahid's lap. And Shahid would read a newspaper and he would sit on his lap with one smaller little version of Shahid with curly hair, sitting on his lap and reading the newspaper along with him. God knows what he used to do. To watch TV, it'd be in his lap, be sitting there. It was, ever since he was a 1 year old, you know, you could see that connection and that connectivity. And let me tell you, I mean, Shahid has been the inspiration and the perfect example for Ishan to follow. And Ishan has, I mean, I don't think Ishan loves me a lot because I'm his mother and I've single-handedly brought him up. But I think he loves Shahid equally.
And you have done that beautifully well, I think. You have let them
I don't know. I'm not an angel, and I'm definitely not the most pious and most, you know. I'm not Florence Nightingale. You know, I'm a human being. I'm an artist. I'm a woman. I was young and full of beans, and I was being an artist. I was, you know, romantic and everything. So I think my children also adjusted a lot to me because we've not had a conventional life. So, you know, God knows what their friends say to them. I don't think they did because, you know, I was quite a favorite auntie of all the children, always. And I still am.
I can vouch for that.
All the children love me. I have great relationship with all the kids that have come into my life through my children and through the studentship. I am a teacher, so I teach a lot of children.
You know, on that note, we'll move on to the next segment, which is called Up Close and Personal. Ma'am, I want to know that, you know, there's been a very nice addition to your family in the form of Meera. How do you remember your first interaction with her? How did you guys bond and what do you guys bond over?
I don't have a daughter and I have two wonderful sons, but I always obviously must have hankered for a daughter also. So Meera is my daughter. So it's completely completed the circle. I have my daughter and I have my two sons and I have two wonderful grandchildren. So now I'm complete. And Meera is, you know, she doesn't make too much out of anything. She's the most undramatic person I've seen. And because we are a family of artists, we are all dramatic. And amongst all of us, the way she's made her place, and not only has she made her place, she has made our places also. So she spread the light and she's created that center thing that she is, you know, and it's amazing. I mean, I can't say enough for Meera because Meera was so young when she got married and she just completed college. She was in Delhi having fun, carefree, and how young people are. And then she took on the mantle of, you know, being a wife to such a successful actor and becoming who she had to be in our film industry also as a public person, talking to the people and carrying herself in a certain way. And then, more than anything else, she has given that happiness to Shahid.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest. For me, she has won my heart for this.
But do you remember your first conversation with her, first time that you met her? Because it was
it was very sweet and simple. Very sweet and simple. I was very excited to see her because I already knew about her and I knew that the marriage is going to take place and, you know, so she was the chosen girl and Shahid was very shy when he told me, because obviously he wasn't sure about how I'd react because I'd never met her. So when I met Meera, the first thing I thought to myself is, अरे ये तो इतनी छोटी सी है, इतनी प्यारी सी है, इतनी फ्रेल सी है, ये तो बच्ची है, और हम में भी, मुझे और ईशान को जो है हमारी पूरी फैमिली मिल गई है. We are complete and there's so much to look forward to. I do believe that I have many dreams to teach whatever I can to Misha and Zizi, which I can because I'm the classical musician and dancer here. I don't claim to be a musician because I don't actually play an instrument or sing, but I have complete utri bhi hu usme, main डूबी भी हूँ क्योंकि it's a huge part of my dancing. It's completely entwined, Misha, I really, really look forward to teaching her Kathak. And I guess, I have heard my little grandson sing once in a while. And I do believe that he has a very melodious voice. So, yeah, I mean, the parents themselves will teach her so much. उनका छोटा सा चाचा है जो इतना सिखाएगा.
When did you decide that you will become friends with them? Do they discuss their life with you? Do they discuss, like when Shahid was younger, did he come up to you and discuss who he likes? And similarly with Ishan now, because he's in that age, do they discuss?
I don't know how they're going to react to my answering this, because it's very personal and it's their personal life.
No, I will not take names.
But yes, I've been a friend of theirs, the best friend they would first come and share with.
Which is so sweet. But in terms of social media, ma'am, which I was coming to, which is last question, actors can still handle the constant criticism, the stories that keep coming, whether it's about link ups, this, that, the negative part of it. It affects the mothers and the fathers more, like the parents more, I believe. Does it bother you at times when something is written? Do you
for a very short while, for just a pang.
Yeah.
Because how does it matter who's saying what?
True.
I mean, nobody can lead their lives because somebody thinks this way of them, or somebody is being and they don't even think like that about anybody. I think they need to be that way because they're not happy people.
Absolutely.
And they're frustrated and they're jealous of someone else doing well. I don't think people who have self-respect and dignity and a good feeling about themselves would ever hurt somebody else.
Absolutely.
And being opinionated, I think, how can you be opinionated? Tell me. How do you know that somebody is not better than you?
True.
Just because they're younger than you or they're on their way up, you don't know where they will reach one day. So you look like a fool for having said all those stupid, presumptuous things before they became those wonderful people they became in their lives. I don't hold opinions. And I feel that anybody who has strived to do well in their particular art or field in life, whether it is science or it's medicine or it's any other thing or it's journalism or it's arts, performing arts, I think people who are really striving to do well, takes them all the time and all the focus to pull out some time for their families and their loved ones, their near and dear ones. And they really don't have the time. Really, seriously, if you're working on your craft, you don't have the time.
True.
Otherwise, also practically you're working on the sets or on stage or in rehearsals, or you're otherwise with your, people that are looking for time with you. They don't have the time. Secondly, they're happy with what they're doing. They're satisfied. Absolutely. They're enriched. Why would they hurt anybody else? I think it's very foolish to have opinions about people when they have a whole lifetime to prove who they are.
But kudos to you, because I think I have become a little more enriched talking to you over these last few days that we've been talking. And thank you for doing this. It was a lovely, lovely conversation. And I just can't thank you enough.
Arey nahi, thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you. And it's always wonderful talking about my sons.